the first thing, memories that comes to mind is when you walk out onto the Barbican stage in the concert hall there, and suddenly there's a huge symphony orchestra in front of you, and you're one of sort of 60 to 70 singers, and this amazing sound that comes out. It's one of the biggest orchestrated pieces I've ever been involved in, actually.
I had the pleasure to lead the orchestra a few times during my education here. My job is to really know the score as well, and collaboration with James was very good because I could have a chance to ask him if I wasn't sure what was going on.
1A for winds and brass? Or?
Yeah, 1A for winds and brass, and 1A for all strings.
Okay.
And then we might tune again after the first movement, I'll ask you.
It's a great challenge for a young person to have a chance to do that. Before we started to work with James Gaffigan, we were working with musicians from the London Symphony Orchestra, with different musicians. So we could have a chance to get to know different points of view about the piece. And we get many advices, and also it was helpful for me because they could advise about bowings and some phrases, not only in tuttes but solos. So they were very helpful before James Gaffigan took over.
There were some things where they rehearsed quite different than the way I imagined it, which is fine. I mean, at least they had something to say. Some little rubato sections and things like this, but overall nothing got in the way of the interpretation, and if anything, it just helped. So it was very helpful things happening before I arrived. Good afternoon, everyone. Really excited for today. First, just some logistical things. If we can do this offstage business, starting from 21. So we're starting from 21. This is before the offstage trumpets. 21. Sorry to start with this trombone. 21 and. It's a joy for the audience and it's a joy for the end result, but getting it to work is quite complicated. It's not natural, you know. When you've got brass playing, you know, yards and yards away, it makes things complicated. Trust my beat, because you're all the same distance. Let's same thing, please. Having trumpets so far off in the distance and having to play together is quite complex, but these young men and young women made it very easy for me, and they're good sports. They're running upstairs, they're running downstairs, they're taking great instruction, so I'm very lucky to have them here. Same tempo, not faster. Now we'll get ready for the soft dynamic. Now even softer.
James Gaffigan, a hugely inspirational man to work on, to watch him at work with the orchestra, let alone with us, was sort of mind-blowing at times, actually, and just the way he had such control over such a big piece.
I think the most important thing for me was versatility of sound. Mahler has so many different little tiny details or instructions in the parts. And everything can't be played the same, with the same weight of bow, with the same character. Some have flautando, light bows, less pressure. Some are heavy, staying in the sound. Same thing for winds and brass. There's so many different markings that he puts in the score, and I think getting at those is essential and to justify his compositional process.
To sit and listen to this phenomenal playing, and then to be part of this mass sound as the chorus come in at the end is unbelievable.
Great again. Even softer if you can. That's perfect. Can we do it once more in the last second, last possible second, just right as I'm coming down. Beautiful. Okay. Well, I mean, if the chorus wasn't great in Mahler 2, the work would fall flat at the end. It's this big build-up to this final moment, and if the chorus wasn't any good, it would be a shame. But luckily here we have a great chorus, and yeah, a lot of them are aspiring opera singers. Most of them are, but then again, some of them will end up in great choruses of the world, and some of them will end up great opera stars or soloists. But I think that singing in a chorus, again, is also essential to the development of a singer.
Just his attention to detail on what we were singing about. I mean, it was the Resurrection Symphony. I mean, I don't know, certainly in a group of people that size, not everybody in it is of a Christian belief. But I think by the end of us getting towards the concert, I mean, I think he had in us, whatever your own personal beliefs, an idea that we all need to get behind what we're singing about. I think his attention to detail on the words that we were singing, on what the message was we were trying to convey, of the power of what it was Mahler had written, I think was fascinating.